In 1945, a farmer in Colorado chopped the head off a chicken for dinner. The chicken declined to die. It lived another 18 months. And honestly, that's only the fifth strangest thing on today's list. Hello, I'm Professor Atticus Stone. History, they tell me, is serious business. But every so often, the past does something so spectacularly ridiculous that no novelist would dare invent it. Today, 10 of my favorites, every single one absolutely true. Do try to keep up. In 1932, Australia had a problem. 20,000 emus were destroying farmland, so the army was sent in with machine guns. What followed was humiliating. The emus simply scattered, sprinted in zigzags, and shrugged off the bullets. After weeks, the soldiers withdrew. The official tally: emus victorious. It remains the only war a nation has formally lost to a bird. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered most of Europe. He was, however, defeated by rabbits. To celebrate a treaty, his staff arranged a grand rabbit hunt and gathered hundreds of them. But these were tame rabbits, and when released, they didn't flee. They charged, mistaking the emperor for the man who fed them. Napoleon retreated to his carriage as the bunnies swarmed. A tactical genius undone by lunch. In 1859, Britain and America nearly went to war over a pig. The animal wandered across a disputed border on San Juan Island, ate a farmer's potatoes, and was promptly shot. Both nations rushed in troops. For months, soldiers glared at each other, ready to fight. Then everyone calmed down and went home. The only casualty of the pig war was the pig. In 1618, a furious mob in Prague settled a political dispute the old-fashioned way. They threw 3 officials out of a castle window, some 70 feet up. Remarkably, all 3 survived. Catholics declared it a miracle. The truth was earthier. They landed in an enormous pile of manure. That undignified splash helped trigger the 30 Years' War. The shortest war in recorded history was fought in 1896 between Britain and Zanzibar. The Sultan refused to step aside, the Royal Navy opened fire on his palace, and the matter was settled in roughly 38 minutes. By tea time, it was over. Blink, and you'd have missed the entire conflict. Cleopatra once bet Mark Antony that she could spend a fortune on a single meal. To win, she took one of the largest pearls in the world, dropped it into a goblet of strong vinegar, let it dissolve, and drank it. The cost would run to millions today. She won the bet and made the point that Egypt's wealth was, quite literally, hers to swallow. In colonial India, the British grew alarmed at the number of cobras in Delhi and offered a bounty for every dead snake. Clever until enterprising locals began breeding cobras to cash in. When officials discovered the scheme and scrapped the reward, the breeders released their now worthless snakes. There were more cobras than ever. Economists still call it the Cobra Effect. On a January day in 1919, a vast storage tank in Boston burst. Out came 2.5 million liters of molasses, a syrup wave 2 stories high, moving at 35 miles an hour. It flattened buildings, swept away carts, and tragically killed 21 people. For decades afterward, locals swore that on hot days, the streets still smelled faintly sweet. China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, united a nation, built the first Great Wall, and was buried with an army of terracotta soldiers. He also feared death so much that he hunted obsessively for a potion of immortality. His physicians prescribed pills of liquid mercury. He took them faithfully, and they poisoned him to death. The man who wished to live forever was killed by the cure. And we end where we began, when that farmer beheaded Mike the chicken. The axe missed the brainstem and an ear's worth of tissue, so Mike simply carried on. He was fed with an eyedropper, learned to balance, and became a national celebrity touring the country for 18 months. Mike the Headless Chicken outlived most of the people who came to laugh at him. History, you see, is far stranger than fiction, because no editor would ever allow it. If today's 10 taught you anything, let it be this: the truth is almost always weirder. Next time, a story that isn't funny at all. The night the world's largest ship met the world's coldest ocean. Until then, mind the manure.